Hello everyone and welcome to It's a Wee One, where cartoons continue to be awesome. A while back I did a review of the Grim Adventures of Billy and Mandy with Unova and highlighted some of the best moments from the series, but now it's time to go over my personal top 10 episodes of the show. And what better time to talk about supernatural shenanigans than the month of October? Now be aware I will include episodes from the Grim Adv series as well as some of the specials, but I will not include some of the cartoon movies, and with that said, let's get started. Number 10. Battle of the Bands.
Let's roll!
The early days of Billy and Mandy were truly amazing. Billy comes across his favorite band Purple Filth and wants to join, but after witnessing Grim's mad skills on the guitar as well as burning down the whole neighborhood, Grim is accepted into the band, and what comes next is something that can give Alice Cooper a run for his money. The episode did a fantastic job in the visuals as well as a great homage to industrial rock music. The song featured in the episode is known as Darkness by SPF 1000, and just this song alone keeps me coming back to this episode, but that doesn't mean there aren't any funny moments in the episode as well.
I didn't know you could fly! Fly?
It's funny, visually phenomenal, and earns it a spot on the list. By the way, can we get a Kickstarter to make t-shirts of this episode? Please? Shut up and take my money and whatnot? Number 9. Wishbones. Grim pulls out a skull named Thomnambula or something, who must grant 9 wishes before being released from his prison, and what comes out of this episode is a roller coaster of chaos with every wish granted. Not to mention the pacing in the episode actually felt natural every time the skull moved on to someone else. The wishes don't always turn out the way the characters wanted, and every time someone gets their hand on the skull, you know something bad is going to happen, and the episode does a great job at building up the suspense. Out of all the wishes, number 5 has to be the most disturbing one. I won't spoil it, but I highly recommend you see it if you haven't. As the episode comes to an end, we are left with one last wish. But before the last wish can be made to set Thomnambula free, Grim wishes that the skull was never found and everything goes back to the way it was before. If I had a wish, I'd wish for the Powerpuff Girls to come back to Cartoon Network. Okay, you see what happens when you make a wish? It never turns out the way you wanted. Let's move on before I wish for something I'll regret, like a SpongeBob movie. Oh, god damn it. Number 8. 5 o'clock shadows. The episode involves Billy wanting to know where shadows come from, and Grim is forced by Mandy to take them there, and right off the bat I felt something new with this episode, an actual sense of wonder for the unknown, going into a world where everything looks the same but something in the back of your mind is telling you that it isn't. They're stuck with those shadows for the remainder of the episode but are told not to open any unfamiliar doors since the shadow world is connected to other dimensions as well. However, Billy manages to open a door that connects the Billys of other dimensions to that world, and Mandy converts her opposite to an exact copy of herself. I would also like to give a shout out to the episode Tricycle of Terror for having a darker story while offering a similar sense of the unknown and supernatural forces, though not all things supernatural come from other dimensions but from space as well, with number 7 on the list. Number 7. Little Rock of Horror. Okay, I know this episode is only on the list because of the song Brains, but this is one catchy song that will never leave your head unless an alien from outer space eats your brain. I'll be honest, I had no idea who Voltaire was and didn't really care to find out, but after the episode played a few more times, I wanted to know everything about the episode, and that's how I found out about Voltaire and started to listen to more of his music. Voltaire actually talks about how he met Maxwell Adams and came up with the song Brains for the show, and I highly recommend you watch this video by clicking on the monitor. Now back to the episode. Billy wants someone to play with, and this alien falls from the sky and offers his friendship for all the brains in Ennsville. The song is mainly used for exposition, but also adds in some great visuals to go along with it, as well as a little reference to Michael Jackson's Thriller. That alone is pretty amazing. I would love to see Voltaire play a character in Maxwell Adam's new series Dead Meat, or at least have another song by him. Either way, this is one episode that will always come to mind whenever I think of the show. Number 6. Keeper of the Reaper. Unova and I brought up this episode in our Billy and Mandy collab, so it only makes sense to give it a spot on the list. I mean, a custody battle between Billy and Mandy to see who gets Grim is an interesting idea to begin with. The episode was written by C.H. Greenblatt, who would later go off to make Chowder, and the episode also included Greenblatt's own character named Fred Burger, and his purpose in the episode is to decide who gets custody of Grim. Both sides present their arguments as well as who would make the better friend for Grim based on their past performances and testimonies from other characters. But the shenanigans don't stop there. The episode also includes a song. I'm not a big fan of the song, but it did seem to fit the show's style, but I'd still prefer to hear Voltaire sing again. So in the end, Fred Burger has to make the final decision and chooses Grim to stay with both of them. Makes sense, don't you think?
Yes!
Yes.
Yes!
Yes. I see. I hereby sentence all of you to take a pee break, but come back, or